Everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. We're going win number 10. This one will be nice. This is the one where you feel like you kind of got the evil out, you know? The old streak is what it is. We're back with our new one. YA6XLNFW with an incredible start, to be honest with you. Great stats. Most of it comes from ceremonial robes, but I mean, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing right here. Hold on. LNFW? Isn't that the band that went, I got something in my mind, I'm not afraid to show it, show it, show it, show it, show it. I'm streaking and I know it. You know this song. Why are you quoting old music? I take no offense to you calling LMFAO old music. I do not really... I don't dislike them, like, as human beings. I don't really, like... I mean, it's not really my favorite, band out there, you know? I mean, they're okay, I guess. Are they, as good as, Slint? I don't think... Do they have the same kind of vibeability as the Beta Band? I don't think so. I mean, do they have the same kind of menagerie of music as a band like Olivia Tremor Control? No. What a hit. And for our trouble, we got some spiders there. Still. Oh, what the... He sacrificed himself to help me. Anyway, look, it's a great start. It's a great start. You don't need me to tell you it ain't a great start, because that would be a lie. It's a great start. Hey, hey. Hey, you. Hey, thank you. What we do want to do is remove the Anarchist Cookbook. I'm going to say something controversial. I don't think it's the worst book. I definitely think it's close. But at least in some situations, you can get something, a little pog out of it. You can get at least a little mini pog. Like that situation right there, it basically beat the boss for us. There's a lot of negatives associated with it, do not get me wrong. But I think that, at least in the early game, it does at least have some use. Oh my god, dude. So many tinted rocks. Maybe we shouldn't have blown up the donation machine in the shopkeeper, I don't know. We'll see. Oh, never mind. Okay, that's quite nice. Really? And we get small rock, which is really just gonna make this easier. I'm torn on this one. I'm like Natalie Imbruglia. I'm torn. Trying to think about. I think I want to buy both of these, quite frankly. I think we want both of them, though it was a relatively heavy price to pay and we won't have an arcade on the next floor. I think that the idea is, you know, the blue map, the earlier you get it, the more it should pay for yourself as long as you got the bombs necessary to actually, you know, get into those rooms. But this is, like, we have so much going on in the positive for this run right now that we got, we got nothing to worry about. We got nothing to worry about. Anyway, today is Monday. Pretty pro Mondays these days. Let's see how this shakes out. We got a full bone heart out of that, which is just ridiculously good. You know what? I'm just going to tell you straight up as well. I'm going to dump Crow Heart because I don't know how to use it properly. Maybe we'll take Lost Cork temporarily, but... yeah, this seems more sensible to me. Run. Monday, you know, there's that song. So somebody tweeted me this weekend and was like, hey, are you the lead singer for the Boomtown Rats? Because their song, I Don't Like Mondays, sounds like How You Sing. Which is both complimentary, because, you know, Bob Geldof was a professional singer, but also secondarily a little insulting, because he goes, it got no reason, because there is no reason. That's more Bruce Springsteen, but you get the idea. DMCA, lol. But I do like Mondays. Unlike the Boomtown Rats song, I don't like Mondays. Sunday is my first day of the week. So it's not like Mondays are like, oh, I gotta go back to work, you know? I mean, I don't feel like that on Sundays either, but it's ooh, no, nothing there. It's a matter of, you know, opinion, I suppose. And then, Mondays, you get that Josh NLSS, which sauces you up. It also has the... I gotta do something about the NLSS time zones. When I was talking about it with Dan, I was downright embarrassed. He's like, what time do you go live? I'm like, on Sundays, I go live at 1. Mondays, 3. Tuesdays, 11. Wednesdays, 2. Thursdays, 2. So it's like it's always different. It's just a natural kind of evolution. Oh, we definitely do want this. We got another chest. Ooh, we can't do anything with it, but it's good to know. It's a natural kind of evolution. Like, originally it's streamed 3 times a week. Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And even then, you'd be like, why not Friday? Well, I had something going on that Friday, probably. So I was like, I can't do Friday this week. We'll just make it Thursday for now. And here we are, like, 7 years later. Hold on, I am going to open this. Didn't work out very well, but it also had the added benefit. If there was an item in there, then we would have known that our other one had an item in it as well, and we could have paid for it. But, and then, you know, so it was, you know, 3 to 6. And then I started taking programming classes. So, I think maybe one of them was like, you know, Josh wanted to move the schedule a little earlier because it like ends late on his day, because he's on the Eastern Coast, which is like, you know, 3 hours off from where I'm at. So we were like, yeah, sure, we can change that one. And then, you know, I had programming classes, and some of the time they were, you know, Wednesdays at 5. So I wanted to finish, you know, or Wednesdays at 6. So I wanted to finish, you know, at 5 on those days. Sometimes they were Thursdays at 5. So it's just kind of a natural evolution that has made things look super strange. And then on Tuesdays, it was like, originally I didn't even stream on Tuesdays, and then I was like, oh, you know, Twitch is going really well and it's a lot of fun. Let's start streaming on Tuesdays, maybe for a few hours. And then all of a sudden, you know, we moved Unity to Tuesdays, so it stopped being, you thought I was gonna say it stopped being fun. That's not what I meant. In fact, it's more fun on Twitch than it was just, you know, recording 9 PUBG episodes, although some of them they brought the heat. You don't get to hit me. I'll play chicken with that all day. Anyway, the point is, it all, you know, and then, you know, Warzone started. So Warzone, we were like, oh, we're so hyped, let's even get a few extra hours in. So, you know, it was not designed. You know, it came to pass. It was exclusively came to resemble its current position based on function rather than form. We can standardize that. We got to work on that standardization. But then there's a problem, because I like the 2 to 5 time slot. Because for me, I finish at 5 p.m. and have the opportunity to get some recording momentum done in the late day as well. But then Josh and Malf are on the Eastern time zone, so asking them to like, hey, well, actually, it's not that bad for Malf, but for Josh, who has like a quote-unquote real job. That's more insulting my job than his job, by the way, but, you know, he's like, well, I can't be there right at 5 because I get off work at 5. It's a whole thing, you know, it's complicated. I actually think car battery is kind of a more interesting choice here than the blank card. Anyway, you get the idea. Nobody's actually complaining about it. It's just me being like, well, if I could design this from the ground up. Like, one of the things we talk about on Check the Wire is like, hey, you know, if you're a starting streamer, what kind of steps would you recommend? And there's a lot of stuff that comes up, you know. One of the things I say is like, sure, you can become, you know, a known streamer just by streaming video games and having chats, but you know, the competition is just always getting harder, so if you could have some way to separate yourself, in the sense like, oh, we're doing some kind of challenge, or, you know, blah, blah, blah. Like, particularly it's come up when people are like, I'm gonna, you know, I want to start like an art or a programming stream. We always recommend things like, you know, instead of just like, hey, here's like my project and I'm gonna code it on stream, be like, hey, we're gonna make something together and like you can have some input on it. And, like, the goal is within 30 days we're going to have, like, a functional app, or, you know, we're going to have a little demo of the game or something like that. Thank God. Thank God. But, like, that's one of the most important. Come on. And then the second most important is always, like, and then have a consistent schedule so people know when you're going to be live. To be fair, people do know when I'm going to be live. It's just annoying. They got to be like, what day is it today? Hold on, let me check on this. Got a little message. Oh, that's a very simple message. Anyway. It is what it is. Got nothing else. I mean, you know what I'm about to say. It's pretty anecdoteless. Still an anecdoteless situation going on right now. Ooh. Now that's how you know the neurons are myelinated today. Crack that one open. And do it, Mystery Sack. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. And then we can use this to double up on something. It might be best to open one of the golden chests and then try to double what's inside, although it will, in all likelihood, double the other chests. Yeah, okay. So there, we got an issue there. Maybe we can get some keys. This is still good. Like, I don't know if this situation is good, but the existence of the double D1 is good. Should be pretty clear here. And man, I've been like trying to think about it. I'm like, I'm not sure if 2020 has gone by like the fastest of any year I've ever experienced or the slowest. I'm genuinely like oscillating, vacillating back and forth between the two. So like don't get me wrong, there's been a ton of like bad news this year. That's doubtless. I'm not trying to say like why are people complaining about 2020, you know? I understand. Wonder if we can get maybe just try this on the shop. See if there's a key in there. But at the same time, so like here's what I wouldn't say worry. Here's what I'm thinking. Like let's assume that, you know, snap of the fingers 2021 is just like a relatively normal year. I really would just like to be able to... Okay, I think we're going to leave. That way we still have a key for our next floor instead of opening those other golden chests, though it does bum me out. We might be missing out on a big yield here, but I think this is the sensible play. Anyway, let's say that, you know, 2021 is a year that's like, you know, 2015 or, you know, 2017 or something like that. It's not to say nothing happened in those years, but maybe like, you know, you had like 2 or 3 days notice between incredibly large, you know, pieces of news. I wonder if it's gonna, like, how that's gonna feel after going through this weird, like, new normal. You know what I mean? Like, this year, we've had quarantine, riots, you know, incredible, like, exposés in the gaming and streamer industry of misconduct. And then on top of all that, you know, we moved in October, really November. My wife got, I don't know how to phrase it. We became pregnant. I mean, we didn't become pregnant, but my wife got pregnant is like, you know, it kind of ignores my own role in the situation. But, you know, we conceived in, like, late January, so there's been, like, all that stuff this year as well. It's just, like... there's been too much news. Like, I actually think we should... On July 1st, which has now passed for you, but is a couple of days away for me, I think we should just be like, you know what, this is 2020B. We're leaving 2020A in the past, and we're going to 2020B. Now, I don't necessarily think... And by the way, I've been just, like, holding my hands together, hoping for slow news days. You know, so the human beings can take a little time to just sort of relax and have, like, a normal day. But, nah, we don't really want that. Do we have a Curse of the... We do have Curse of the Maze. Yes, yes, yes. I forgot what I was saying. Anyway, the point is, it's been a long one. Hope you're doing okay. I think everyone... Even, like, for me, in like, March or April, I was like, I'm having a good year, even though the year on a meta level kind of sucks. I'm having a great year. Now I'm like, hey, you know, I'm having a good year. Don't get me wrong, but there are days where I'm like, man, this is all messed up. This is not to sound like I, you know, am like a superhero, but I know that if like I'm being affected by this stuff, people are, you know, other people are being affected by this stuff as well. So it's been a long one. Hope everyone's hanging in there. Hope Isaac's bringing you a little bit of routine or normalcy to whatever degree you know, possible. It is weird, like, we don't talk about real stuff too much. But, you know, sometimes people... Because, you know, especially on Wednesdays, the NLSS gets a little bit more current events-y because, you know, that's Rob's focus right now. And I would reiterate as well, I support Rob's focus on that stuff. A, because he's a friend of mine. Well, really, that's like A through Z. You know, I like having him on the show, and I think that, you know, if he feels these are important things to bring up, then... I don't mind him bringing it up at all. But sometimes people are like, hey, you know, we watch for, like, escape from real life, not for, like, you know, to... I actually thought it had to double one consumable. I didn't know it could get both. But, you know, sometimes we watch for an escape from real life, not necessarily to, like, be reminded of the real world's issues. And I'm like, I hear you, but also, like... That can't be done. It's not like every episode of everything, oh, things suck right now. It sucks really bad. You know, for the most part, we're up. And, you know, try to focus on the positive. But sometimes as well, I mean, it was kind of annoying for me at the start of quarantine when I would talk about the, you know, virus stuff. And people would be like, you know, I'm inundated with virus news. Please just talk about, like, you know, Jason Bateman movies. And I'm like, well, yeah, I hear you, but I'm not really, like, thinking about Jason Bateman movies that much. I'm thinking about, you know, the quarantine. You know, you gotta speak to what you know and what you're thinking about in the moment. Oh my God, dude, our rate of fire. But anyway, that's like, there hasn't been a lot of that recently, because I think, quite honestly, everybody's kind of relatively close to being on the same page with, like, you know, hey, you know, this is our new normal for the time being. We can talk about it. I do wish Seinfeld was still active right now. I actually didn't even mean to take one, but it is what it is. Because I would love to see their episode on anti-maskers. I would just love it. I think Seinfeld could unite North America right now. My mom was telling me that, you know, and she actually, my parents live in a part of the country that is still very much, like, you know, affected. Canada is, like, you know, compared to some countries in the world, we're doing okay. And BC, in particular, is doing really well. And then some parts of BC, i.e. Victoria, but quit rubbing it in, are doing super well as well. Even better than that. But, you know, where my parents live is still, like, pretty locked down. Like, things are kind of open, but not really. And my mom was telling me, she's like, I got a friend of mine. And they refuse to wear a mask. They think we're being, like, indoctrinated by the government. And my mom was like, do you know anything about, like, why people believe this? Like, what do they think we're being indoctrinated for? And I was like, I don't know, Mom. All I know is that when I sign on a TikTok, I see 14 videos by 18-year-old kids that think that Ellen DeGeneres consumes human blood in order to maintain her youthful appearance, and I just, you know, scroll through that as quickly as possible so the algorithm doesn't think I enjoy it, and, you know, try to get me back to some videos of people falling down. That's really, like, that's my ideal situation there. But yeah, even my parents are dealing with it. I will say, we wear our masks all the time. I have not yet experienced one of those, like, Reddit, Twitter situations where somebody comes up to me and starts yelling, like, you know, how dare you wear a mask on your face. And I don't know if that's a testament to the fact that, you know, these stories, no, we don't need it, honestly, are overblown online, or if it's a test, because I've seen the same videos you guys have seen of people, like, losing their minds inside of a Trader Joe's. Or, telling public health officials that, like, you're gonna you know, burn in the underworld for all of eternity because you're trying to get us to wear a mask. And by the way, like, if you work in public health and you have the means and desire to retire after this whole thing, I don't think anybody on planet Earth will blame you, really. You're doing the Lord's work right now. I appreciate it. But yeah, you know, it hasn't happened to me yet. Thankfully. But I have rehearsed the conversation in my head, so I really like, because there were like anti-lockdown protests in Vancouver, so you knew that there's, I don't know, there were only like 20 people at them, and they were all wearing Flat Earth shirts, so they were easy to spot. But I was like, man, if someone came up to you and was like, oh, wake up, sheeple, you're wearing a mask, oh, what else do you believe? That the world's a sphere? I think, and I don't, you know, you gotta handle this the way that you want to handle this in your own life. I've been rehearsing one line that I think is really good, which is gonna be, shut up, you dumb a-hole, and then just, like, continuing on with my day. I think that I've already got that one locked in my cerebral cortex. I normally wouldn't support that level of, you know, personal... Oh, it's an ad... You've resorted to an ad hominem attack? That means I've defeated you in the marketplace of ideas. No, it's more just like, it's a person that wants to fight, but they're made of baby oil. I choose not to. I choose not to. You go to your forums, I'll go to mine. I hate it.
Something's wrong.
Okay, a tears down for a luck up. Not really a fair trade, but it's something. So that's pretty much, like, most of the anecdotes that I have in my head right now are just rehearsed. Just, man, come on, give me a reason. Give me a reason to deploy this nuclear line. Shut up, you dumb idiot. I can't. Oh, man, you'll be sorry. By the way, if you're, like, a fan and you see me in public and you say, you know, something related to the mask as a joke, I probably will not remember because I recorded, like, a lot of videos. And then I'll say, shut up, you dumb idiot, and you'll think we're in on the joke. And then later that day when I record videos, I'll be like, guess what, guys? It finally happened. So be very careful. Be very careful with that one. We might as well, like, okay, we should have been doing this earlier for that matter. That's a lot of money, though. This run is actually, like, bizarrely... it has the capability to lose, by the way. Which is a little surprising, considering how it started. We gotta be a little bit more careful than you might have expected early. We haven't really picked up a ton of useful items from the standpoint of, like, hey, let's, like, do a ton of damage. Admittedly, our rate of fire is just incredible. But we kind of, like, you know, our scale has... Our scaling has slowed down a lot, and I'm not talking about getting your teeth cleaned at the dentist. That was not very smart of me. And in fact, I'll admit, I kind of saw it coming, which is the worst part. Yep, that one was also bad. So we're kind of like... I would say that this is like threat level... Light yellow? Is light yellow that would be less threatening than, like, a vibrant? Anyway... We still got to deal with the devil / deal with the angel chance. We definitely want to find a way, and hopefully our shop can make that happen for us. Find a way to improve our ability to operate here. We probably should have doubled that, honestly. I don't even want to know how many opportunities I've missed to double consumables. And the other thing I'll own up to is I had a certain level of hubris earlier that we were not going to need those eternal hearts, and we're better off with spirit hearts. It's not like I went, we don't need those... because I'm too good. It was more like, oh, we've got a healthy balance. Now the balance is getting a little spicier. What we should really do is the next spirit heart that drops, just save it. This is doing a big thing right. We should have been doing it for a while. Well, not really, because we were at full HP for a long time. But the next time we get a spirit heart to drop, just D1ing the crap out of it. You know, if we can get a room that only has a spirit heart on the ground, every time we press the spacebar, we get 2 spirit hearts on the ground. Like 2 extras. So it's very strong. Little Gish, not quite good enough for me right now. Not bad, not quite good enough. Mysterious Liquid is good enough. Especially because we were taking some hits from, you know, being run down by enemies. Not gonna help us on, you know, those floors where every single enemy is just a flying silkworm, but for here, not bad. It's an item I feel like you just go for. It's disappointing, but, you know, we have another floor as well. We don't have to worry about it quite yet. At least we don't have to worry about it too much quite yet. Am I right about that? Yeah. No, we're on Debs 2. Okay, never mind. That's a stinker. I would very much have loved to have had that opportunity there, but it is what it is. All right. Let's try to manifest our deal with the devil here. We got like a 1 in... somewhere between a 1 in 5 and 1 in 6 chance. Honestly, like, the problem is we need to find a way to get one on the next floor if we don't get one on this floor. And it's super unlikely we're not going to get hit on the entirety of the next floor. We got a Spirit Heart, so we didn't get a deal with the devil. However, you pick up all this, then you duplicate that, and that's huge. Alright, we will head down to the next floor feeling slightly more confident, without a doubt. Okay. Curse of the Unknown. Not risky to start with, not risky. I guess if things get super touchy, and again, this is probably going to be back to banter reasonably quickly, would be my guess, with our 100% deal with the devil chance and some actual protection for once to do that. I would think that in all likelihood, all we need to do is wait for a glitter bomb to pay out with the Spirit Heart. And if Glitter Bomb pays out with a Spirit Heart, then we're sitting pretty. So, you know, it's probably a low percentage chance, but, you know, if we get some more bombs, it's worth it. So I didn't want to duplicate the money in there. We gotta... It's very sensible. I think we should duplicate, like, pretty much exclusively cards that are good to use in the moment, i.e. the Hierophant. And maybe bombs is relevant. Money is not, though. Spirit Hearts are really the top tier. Anyway, I think we're in a much better position now. We kind of let the run get more HP deficient than it should have been. But you know what's, again, a good wake-up call? A good wake-up call. We're not even picking those up. If they're luck upgrades, they're luck upgrades, okay? I do want to take the pill, but I'm resisting the temptation for the time being. I think we can dupe that right away. Leave one on the ground just in case we get a battery charge in here. Whatever. So we did lose one Spirit Heart. There we go. We have 8 bombs now. A little bit better. Oh, that's convenient. What are my plans for the rest of the day? You know what? I hadn't really thought about it. I like to start my day with a little Isaac. I feel like we never fight this guy anymore. Did we fight him last episode? If so, I apologize. I like to start my day with a little Isaac, maybe then eat like a little breakfast after that. Following that, we're doing clubhouse games, as I mentioned, for the Golden Goblet. I should record all of those today, because honestly, they don't take very long, and they're a lot of fun. Okay, we got our tiers up again, which is even higher. Does Divorce Papers just totally bust your tier cap? Sorry. Nope. Don't really care about the key, so we'll just hold 48-hour energy. I think that they could be worth it. Oh, wait. No, that's not worth it. I think it could be worth taking those, but not yet. I don't know, man. It's a complicated one. This is probably one of those situations where, like, all roads lead to a win regardless. So I'm not going to spend too much time worrying about it. I will say, I definitely wish that we had gotten the deal with the devil / angel on the depths too. Because the deal with the devil on the womb 1, well, it didn't really do it for me. Didn't really do it for me. Two kind of dubious items. I mean, Death's List is pretty good, but I think the earlier you get it, the better it is, which is not necessarily an excuse to not take it late, but the earlier you get it, the better it is, and also, a lot of rooms just seem like it's not possible to make it work, but then again, by taking Death's List and actually completing some rooms, we also would have gotten a better chance to get some Spirit Arts, and if we got those Spirit Arts, we could have duplicated them super easily, but it doesn't matter too much, because as you can see, every time we press this, we're also getting an HP upgrade, so this might not have given us the victory, but it definitely has influenced our ability to win. Dun dun! Dun 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 dun. Anyway, it's good. It's good. For the many people who have asked, baseball has moved into a live format for the playoffs. So occasionally there will be some delays in the videos, but it's for the benefit of being able to watch them live. You know, it's like when we're just recording them, we don't need to prepare, we don't need to sanitize things, we don't need to get ready for the audience to be there, we don't need to get the hot dog vendors up and running, but, you know, when we're doing it live, there's a lot of pageantry. We got to get the t-shirt cannons loaded up with carbon dioxide. That's probably what they use to shoot those out there. I should not have used my orbital there, but you know what? I think it's pretty clear this one is making it. I apologize. Man, I can't believe, like, it's Canada Day this week? I'm trying to think of how many holidays have happened in quarantine this year. I guess it's a weird thing to laugh about, but you just gotta laugh to some extent, right? Like, originally, it was like, this thing's gonna be over by Easter. Now it's like, next Easter? I don't mean to be dismissive. I honestly don't know, you know? Maybe Christmas? Maybe Christmas? We'll see. It's very interesting to me because, like, I know I talked about movies before, but, like, the movie theaters in parts of Canada are going to start opening up in, like, the middle of July, assuming the things stay, like, as good as they are right now, or, like, I mean, good is kind of an exaggeration, but you know what I mean. As long as the prognosis stays okay, it seems like movie theaters will begin to open up in British Columbia next month. But it's like, without American movie theaters, and maybe other countries worldwide, to be fair, they're not gonna get access to, like, you know, new movies. So I wonder what the movie theater is gonna look like. I have gone to, like, retro movies at movie theaters before. When Jurassic Park was re-released, I saw that. But, like, when I was in college as well, every summer they would run, like, you know, 70s, 80s, and 90s classics in the theater on slow days, and pretty much every day was a slow day because of the fact that all the students move home over the summer vacation. So, like, that's where I saw The Lost Boys, and I can't remember. There were a lot of them though. It might have been where I saw Speed for the first time. So I'm not necessarily against it. But it is going to be strange. You'd be like, oh, I'm going to the movies this weekend. What are you going to see? I don't know, Pretty Woman? I could watch it on Netflix for free, but... By the way, I don't know if that's true. I don't know if it's available on Netflix for free. I've never seen Pretty Woman, quite frankly. I kind of got the gist of it. It's been referenced a lot in media. I worry it would be one of those situations where, because I've seen so many references, I would actually think that the movie is derivative, even if it invented some of the stuff. Like, can you imagine being the one person on planet Earth who saw bullet time 1,000 times in other media properties before they saw The Matrix 1? They were probably like, oh, okay, another slow-mo 360 cam. If you saw The Matrix first, you were like, I did not know that this kind of filmmaking was possible. Everybody I know that's my age is 1 degree away from The Matrix on DVD. If you didn't own The Matrix on DVD, one of your close friends did. Is guaranteed. And you might be like, not me. Go message them. Message like your 10 closest friends from that era and go like, hey, did you own The Matrix on DVD? I guarantee at least 3 of them are going to be like, oh yeah, I watched the special features nonstop. It was a revolution. Well, you know. Do we want... Yeah, we want technology. I think the better your rate of fire is and the worse your range is, the more you want technology. And I think we want to go this way. This was kind of a weird run. I'm not going to deny it. I'm thankful and happy we're going to get to put this one in the books. And that's not to say it was bad, because it was actually, I mean, quite frankly, extremely good. But it got good in different ways throughout the run. And I think it's time for me to knock this one out. Get back to doing the little things right in the future. Like for example, not leaving a chest behind for no reason. It's just telepathy. Why? I'm a fool. I want to issue a carte blanche apology here. I've used the D1 well, but not even close to perfectly. We should be duplicating every chest that we see. We could have even saved the chest in our origin room so that every time we got a charge, we could get 2 more chests out of it, which is 2 more items. We definitely didn't have to enter even like a pseudo-crisis of HP. We could have found a way to manifest that. Okay, that's a bummer. I'll just admit that one's a bummer. But you know what? It is what it is. Better to at least recognize it. I mean, the best thing would be to play perfectly. But the second best thing is to at least recognize it in advance, or well, after it's already been happening for half an hour. And then at least we're not leaving the episode being like, I played perfectly and am above reproach. Instead, I'm like, we did fine. We did what we needed to do, which was not very much today. And, you know, let's just knock out the bad habits in the future so that we don't run the risk of dying for no reason. But anyway, we're good. For now, thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching. And I'll see you next time. See ya!